One of the finest all-around athletes Berwick has ever produced, John Hiltz grew up as part of an athletic family. As a boy, he played all the sports that were available to him. As early as grade 9, John was winning MVP awards at junior high basketball tournaments. At the Kings County track meet, he placed first in the broad jump and discus and set a record in the 440-yard dash. The following year at West Kings, John was a member of the senior soccer and track and field teams, and he continued to excel at basketball. He played on the senior A team coached by Clary Lang and was only the second student athlete at that time to play their grade 10, 11, and 12 years on the senior A team.
I first got to know John when we were in junior high school. Unfortunately, I was at a different junior high school than he was, and so I had to play against him. And we learned very quickly that one person could make a huge difference to a team, and John was always the guy that we had to try to stop from scoring. Then when I got to grade 10, we both went to West Kings together that year, and so I got to know John as a teammate and as a friend, and our relationship developed from that point onwards. He was exceptionally skilled, he was really competitive, fiercely competitive, but the most important thing was probably his maturity and his leadership skills. And he had the ability, he knew more about what was going on the court than I think anybody else on the court, maybe even the coach at times. So it was really valuable to have him out there as a teammate, because if you screwed up, John knew where you were supposed to be, and he'd make sure you knew it so you didn't screw up the next time.
After a stellar 1970-71 season, the team reached the Provincial A final, finishing runners-up to Amherst. John continued to play recreational basketball until the age of 45. During those same years that John was excelling at basketball and track and field, he was also honing his baseball skills. In the summer months, he was known as an impressive pitcher who could throw an incredible fastball, and he played on various successful Valley teams.
Well, he was a good ball player, and he was a stabilizing influence in the team. You know, he knew baseball. We were a little bit more rustic in our approach than that, and he was a good pitcher. He threw a ball that was heavy. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It was just heavy. It landed in your glove, it took your hand off. There were only a couple of the other players were of his caliber. You know, he was, like I said, he's baseball savvy, and it was helpful.
In 1973, he was one of 17 baseball players chosen to represent Nova Scotia at the Canada Summer Games in British Columbia. Nova Scotia reached the crossover round and finished 4th in Canada. During the 1970s, John played softball for the Berwick Easons and Rogers Dodgers. He played baseball in the Halifax Dartmouth Senior League from 1979 through 1985. John is proud to join his father, John E. Hiltz, and his sister, Connie Archer, in the Berwick Sports Hall of Fame.
He was pitching one night, and our catcher, a guy named Kenny Silver, was expecting a fastball low and away, and it came high and inside. And instead of couldn't get the mitt up, so he just shoved his hand up and grabbed the ball, and it split one of his fingers open, right down the side like a sausage.
Our coach was extremely dedicated and extremely competitive, and he wanted us to play basketball 11 and a half months a year. And that meant summer league, summer basketball. Well, John loved baseball, and he wasn't prepared to commit to basketball all summer. He wanted to play baseball. So the coach wasn't happy with that, and so the coach started applying pressure to John to come play basketball in the summers, and John just wasn't willing to go along with it. But his response to that was what impressed me so much. He explained to the coach, he said, "Coach, the person who's the best at that position should be the person who starts. If next fall I'm not the best at that position because someone else was better because of the summer league, then they should start. However, if no one's better than me next fall, I should start, even though I didn't play basketball this summer." And I thought that was a pretty mature attitude and pretty good response to our coach.
The Berwick Sports Hall of Fame is pleased to induct in the athlete category John Allison Hiltz, a top student and one of the most accomplished all-round athletes of his generation.